Right here on Daily Thetha, it is a new season and we're quite excited. We're starting it off talking about the 1st of November. Have you registered to vote? Do you understand why it is important for when to vote? And now we're having a very interesting conversation, of course, with our audience. It is back and we've got a community leader. His name is Nhlanhla Lux. He's also the president of Soweto Parliament. Welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you very much.
Let's start here now. What is the sentiment in your country? What is the picture that you are seeing?
Let's speak about the picture of young people. What you're seeing in the audience and what you've heard from the audience is accurate. Majority of young people feel this way. It's unfortunate, it's sad. But I want to tell the young people that it's a trap.
Okay.
It's a trap for you to feel this way. The systems want you to feel this way because you are the majority of this country. Once you are conscious enough and actually educated enough to understand the power you actually have, because you feel powerless. That's what you said, but you're not. With us put together and unified, young people unified, we are the greatest majority in this country. We can make sure that this country goes into the direction that we want as young people. But it will never get to that direction because the systems want us to be this disgruntled and not have any interest in voting.
Maybe I can ask you this question. We've seen quite with the numbers, national elections, young people seem to have some level of interest. Local elections, what is the difference between the two?
You know, what we have come to understand is that we don't have faith in our communities. We've been conditioned to believe that there's someone that's going to come and save us. That's why when you say national, it's far-fetched. We believe in those things. We are a social media world.
Yes.
We believe in things that are far-fetched.
Yes.
We've been conditioned that way.
Yeah.
And it's really not accurate and it's not the truth.
Yeah.
If you can start with fixing your community and doing right by your community, every ward comes together, it's a puzzle.
Yes.
Every puzzle comes together to complete the picture of the country.
Yes.
At the top is just, it's just the top.
Yeah.
But if we can all do right and stand and do the right thing for our communities, then we're doing the right thing for the entire country. It's not it's not the other way around. It's actually starts here in our communities.
Sure, Nhlanhla has really started the conversation. Quite an interesting part. It is a trap to feel vote it's not going to count. I have registered, but I won't go to vote. I want the government to know how it feels to make empty promises. Nhlanhla, this seems to be the sentiment. I've seen it on social media. It's going around. Is it irresponsible for us not to vote?
It's more than irresponsible for us not to vote because, you know, earlier on I said the trap, the systems. Let's not define the systems. Let's all just use our head what the systems are. If this country and the world was serious about young people being conscientized around voting, voting, education would be part of the country's education system. I mean, you guys come from school. You have no clue what voting is. You don't understand the importance of voting. You don't even understand the detailed importance of voting. Why? Because it was never included in your syllabus, was it? And voting is amongst the most important things because we all live in a democratic country. Before there's anything that is important, our democracy comes first. Anything that undermines the democracy threatens the future of any country that is democratic. So why isn't such an important thing part of the education system? Why don't you graduate matric with that knowledge being common and general knowledge in the country, so that you don't have to invest in a short period of time to try inform and educate billions of youth across the world when it's time to vote.
Because earlier on off camera because is that your feeling? Or no. I'm speaking over you.
No, not really, but I give a tip because they all say the same thing, but there is no difference, you know. We could all go, but the change is minimal, you know.
And that's I'm bringing him in, you know, because deliberately, because a lot of us, we feel disempowered, one, because as you said, arna that voter education, right? But secondly, we feel the options are on let's say voting. The options are
yeah, definitely. Look, what you are saying is important. You know it's important because you and I and other young people in this country, we are allowing old people to take decisions of a future they won't be a part of. They won't be here in 20 years' time. You and I will be here. But you are not active citizens. So we just complain and make excuses. So I'm challenging you to say that we should unite as young people, change the conversations. We don't need special platforms. You don't need Daily Thetha every day. Let's start speaking about productive things that will make sure that the country will benefit, not only Kona will benefit. Because varukuri machance la tseba kaofela. Kukhoneng re bua ntho tse ikelang kwa. Raseba ke khona. But Kona is actually a platform for us to start conversation because that's where young people come. Wa nthola ke tjho.
Nhlanhla, ko bona bolale president ya rona. Ne le sebaka eng?
Ning.
Re bone ko TV. The day when they were mobilizing us to go and register.
No, look, let me be serious. With the president, I always speak. I don't speak for myself. If you ask the president about me personally, he has little information about me. Every time I speak to the president, it's about young people and the advancement of the country.
Yeah.
It's important. So whenever I speak with a voice that represents other young people that are not having the information that I'm having, because I understand that there's deliberate and intentional effort to make sure that this information doesn't get to young people.
Okay.
I know that for a fact. So because if you wanted young people to have this as common and general knowledge, they would be having it right now.
So some of those things that are deliberately being kept away from young people, especially that impact the electoral process.
We've got a problem, and it's a global problem. Old people are hogging positions of power. They don't want to open the doors for these young people to come in. So the best way to do that is that you must prolong the process of them being conscientized and educated so that they break the lock of the door and come in.
Yeah.
So
the responsibility among Nhlanhla to teach people about the electoral process, is it supposed to be IEC or?
So look, during voting or on a normal day?
In general, I get what you wanted in our syllabus.
So in general, it's everyone's responsibility.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? So let's start with government. It's government responsibility to make sure that we have the systems, education system being an example, teaches our kids about elections. And it's also the IEC because they are the kibuaka language about to understand now. They're not political. They're supposed to be apolitical, meaning non-political. So they're supposed to be having programs on a normal day without elections that conscientizes and teaches kids about elections. Not when it's time for what the youth will understand. Not a one night stand.
Yeah.
Must have a long term relationship.
It's a pity because the rates registration, but we're still going to be speaking, so we're still going to keep you. We do have Moagi Sibanda, who is the IEC General Manager, is going to be coming and having a conversation with us. Before Facebook, we are jobless. We are declined this 350 rand. We are tired now. We must go queue there the whole day, and all other political parties are quiet, not doing enough to convince me. I've never missed to vote, but now act as Mukh. This is the sentiment yabaso from South Africa. They are tired. When you now, have you registered to vote? Do you know what is so important about you voting? It's a trap if you don't go out and vote. Can you sanitize that mic? I want. Oh, he's got it. Okay, Nhlanhla. Moagi spoke a little bit about independent. Independent. I want you to tell me on the ground.
Look. Spot on. Young people are actually going the independent route.
Okay.
Yes, there are many young people in the political route. But what I want to add on is the words you are saying. Once you find an active young person in our communities, and when they get absorbed by politics, what actually happens? They lose their independent thinking.
Yeah.
They now have to start reasoning and articulating values of the political party, not of themselves. That's why we say then they are sellouts, because we know you to be very strong when it comes to GBV and women issues. But now you are treating very light. What's going on? Because I have a mandate to articulate the political party's issues and values, not mine. So I think that's where the problem is, and I agree with you very much. But when it comes to the IEC, I actually am for the independent solution because to be honest with you, there's more people outside politics than there are people in politics. I don't know who lied to us and told us that politics is the absolute alpha and omega of how things should move. There are more people, I'm going to repeat that because it's important for young people to understand. There are more young and old people outside politics than there are people in politics. So it's important that the people that are outside politics who are independent are given a platform and a voice, and for that we must all congratulate.
Young people know that I didn't register to vote. So next time I need to know what it is that I am actually registering to vote for. So straight.
Look, it can't be fixed over one sentence or paragraph or one night.
Yeah.
What's important for young people to do is that we must unite outside politics. We must unite because the bulk of the young people and the bulk of people, South Africans, are outside politics. Let us find common ground to unite and start finding reason to move forward. We must unite outside religion. We must unite outside politics. Then we'll have a platform where we can have a sober conversation amongst ourselves as young people and say that, guys, how do we move forward? Because the solution is not with one man. It must be a collective decision. But we need the infrastructure for us to do that, which is the unity for young people outside politics.
Nhlanhla, what's going to happen on the 1st of November?
Look, now I'm a realist.
Yeah.
We want the registered young people to go out and vote. It's unfortunate that it's too late for the ones that are not registered. However, you must understand that there are more people who are not registered than there are people who are registered.
Yes.
Then you must apply logic now. The people that are disgruntled, that chose not to register because they are not happy with everything, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to just sing kumbaya when the ones that are registered are going to vote. We must have measures in place to keep educating those who didn't vote so that we can have a free and fair election come the 1st. Otherwise, if we remain naive and we choose to think that it's Christmas when it's not, we're going to have a problem.
Sure, we're going to have a serious problem with South Africa if we do not go out there and vote on the 1st of November. So, South Africa, young, old, everybody. Like last words, Nhlanhla.
My last words are that if the IEC, for free, I'm giving you this for free, you don't have to pay me.
Free advice.
Free advice. If you make sure that when grade 10s, generally the average grade 10 is turning 16 years, they start actually registering. IEC must go to the schools to register them. When they leave matric, they are 18. Those who already turned 18, special vote in the classroom.
All right.
We're doing
that,
but
there
we should
it is.
do
It is
more.
advice for the IEC. In fact, Nhlanhla has said, you know what, we are on the ground. We want to help the IEC because we all have the same interest. Tomorrow, come back and watch Daily Thetha 10:30. We're talking township economy. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.